It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Oh, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8. It's 5 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. Monday, unmistakably Monday, the start of another work week. And as near as I can determine, I don't think there are any holidays this week. So it's going to be a full 5-day work week. Hey, however, the good thing about Monday is, especially if you had a really nice weekend, you can always draw on what you did over the weekend. You can still kind of say, hey, there really was a really nice weekend. So Monday does have a little bit of an upside because you can draw on the weekend. And speaking of this weekend, man, what a beautiful weekend it was. It was Western New York at its summer best. It was absolutely gorgeous all 4 days. Friday wasn't bad. Friday, I think it started off cloudy on Friday, if I recall, and then it kind of cleared up and it was a nice day. And Saturday was incomparable. I mean, it was beautiful. Yesterday, too. And we have another nice day in store for this Monday, so it's not bad. A stretch of really nice weather. Whatever you wanted to do this weekend, anything outdoors, that's right, it was perfect for it. You want to mow the lawn, you want to trim, you want to do a little weeding, maybe play some golf, nice golf weather, maybe go to a park. A lot of people have family reunions at this time of year. It was ideal. There were a lot of activities going on in Hornell and Arkport and the immediate area past a couple of days. And it was beautiful. Oh, speaking of events, at the Arkport Summerfest, and this, let me see, it had to be on Saturday. You've heard, of course, I know I've mentioned it like once or twice, that Charlie Flanders, the Arkport Village mayor, has cancer. Or he did. And he announced that it is now in remission. So Charlie's a tough guy, man. I'll tell you. I mean, he's a tough guy. You have the radiation therapy and the chemotherapy and all that stuff, but he's come through with flying colors. And he has announced that it's in remission. So that is a very, very good piece of news. Charlie's a good guy. So there we have it. There was a Summerfest. There was a Music Under the Stars on Saturday night. Yard sales. It was nice. A beautiful weekend. We got a lot of work done outside. That was good, too. So, yeah, it was all right. Well, let me see. What's in the news as we start off this work week? Well, let me see. Probably the big news over the weekend was something that didn't quite happen. It was the raids on illegal immigrants. And apparently the Trump administration, the ICE agents were going to arrest approximately 2,000 people who have been issued their, a deportation order. And they were going to go in and arrest these people and deport them, right? Well, that didn't quite materialize quite as we thought it was going to. The same thing happened a number of weeks ago when the administration announced that they were going to have massive ICE raids. That didn't happen. So then it was going to start happening yesterday, and apparently, according to news reports, not really much has been done. I'll be darned. Again. So this was, where did I get this? This is from NPR. I will go anywhere for news, even NPR. That's right. Let me see. Trump's nationwide immigration raids failed to materialize. And where is this? There's a photograph of some concerned citizens in Queens on Long Island. It says hundreds of people marched in New York in opposition to the Trump administration's plans to continue with raids to catch immigrants in the country illegally in Queens on Sunday. So they were protesting, walking down the street, carrying this banner. Somebody has not a loudspeaker, a megaphone or something like that. And what else have we? Let me see. President Trump's threatened roundup of undocumented immigrant families this weekend that sent migrants in many neighborhoods on edge showed few signs of materializing on Sunday, the second time rumors of a large-scale immigration enforcement operation failed to come to fruition. Instead, in the cities where rumors of mass raids swirled, you're only talking 2,000 people here. I mean, 2,000 people. That's it. And it was going to be in New York and Los Angeles and Florida, Chicago, let me see, a couple of other major cities, but only 2,000. So anyway, instead, in the cities where rumors of mass raids swirled, many immigrants stayed inside their homes as jitters turned typically vibrant migrant markets and commercial corridors eerily quiet. So if there were only after 2,000 people who have already been issued their deportation orders, why was everybody all jittery? I don't get that. That I don't get. Anyway, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of stuff I don't get. Immigrant advocates across the country, meanwhile, took to the streets to demonstrate and protest of the promised roundup. Well, if you're in the country illegally and you've been issued deportation orders, what's to protest? I don't see what you're protesting. But anyway, they were demonstrating the promised roundup. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, would not confirm any arrests, nor would immigrant rights activists. The this is from Ruthie Epstein, the American Civil Liberties Union Deputy Director for Immigration Policy. She said, the ACLU has not heard reports of any raids. Okay. Before Sunday, there were weekend reports of attempted arrests by ICE in New York, New Jersey, and Chicago, where the New York Times reported that a mother and her daughters were apprehended, but the family was immediately released. But those actions appeared to be part of routine enforcement activity, not connected to a massive raid operation. Still, fears of ICE catching migrants by surprise sent many into hiding on Sunday. Why would you be hiding? If you're an illegal immigrant, oh no, it doesn't say that. If you're a migrant, why would you be in hiding? Because ICE was not after you. They were after people who had already been issued their deportation orders. In Miami, one of the cities anticipating the crackdown on immigrants, a hush fell over a market, usually buzzing with activity among immigrant merchants and shoppers. Now, who's this? Johanna Gomez, a Honduran immigrant who runs a Central American stall at the market, some marketplace. People are clearly hiding. If you look around, it's the people who are working are basically the only people here. But the majority of our clients are immigrants, some with papers, some with no papers, but they're all scared. Okay. A similar scene played out in Brooklyn's Sunset Park neighborhood, typically bustling with immigrants from Latin America, Asia, and Middle East. But on Sunday, the streets were noticeably calmer, and vendors seemed to have taken the day off due to the threatened raids. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio. So they're blaming him for the blackout in New York, eh? Okay. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said on Saturday that ICE had already attempted to make arrests in the city but were not successful. Activists have been spreading the word to migrants to not open their doors if an immigration agent knocks, since they cannot use force to enter a residence. And remember a couple of weeks ago, I had a story that appeared in the New York Daily News, giving tips on how to evade or avoid or not deal with ICE agents. So the tips, handy tips for illegal immigrants to deal with ICE. All right, fine. I thought we were one country. I guess not. We appear to be. You know, that's the problem. I think we're two countries existing in the same place at the same time. It's like one is superimposed on the other. And we have two entirely different countries existing in this space at the same. I don't know. Anyway, in Chicago, another city where federal immigrants officials were expecting to conduct raids, streets and immigrant neighborhoods were scarcer than on a normal Sunday, which is probably not somebody. Streets were scarcer than on a normal Sunday. They probably meant foot traffic on streets were scarcer. It had as many streets as a normal Sunday. There were like fewer streets or fewer people on the streets. Anyway, Mayor Lori Lightfoot addressed the residents on the north side of Chicago before the raids were supposed to start. And she said, "This is a community that has a diversity of people coming from all over the world," she said. There's been a lot of rumors dangling the sword over people's heads is causing great harm and trauma to entire households, entire neighborhoods. All right, well, anyway, that's enough of that. So the raids really didn't take place, and kind of interesting. Look, where is it here? According to the Department of Homeland Security, there are 11.1 million illegal aliens in the country right now. This is the DHS. 11.1 illegal aliens. Our population approximately, and really how do you tell these days? The population right now, I believe, is 330 million-ish, because you can't really tell. Anyway, so that's 11.1 million. According to a story on CBS, there are between 10.7 million and 11.3 million. So I guess 11.1 is pretty much on. So let me see. Yeah, right. Okay, that's how many illegal aliens there are. So these raids were supposed to be on those who have already been served their deportation notice. Okay. And speaking of deportation, this is kind of interesting. This is Joe Biden. And this was on the Fox News earlier this morning. Presidential candidate Joe Biden refused to apologize for the nearly 3 million deportations. 3 million deportations carried out during his tenure as vice president in the Obama administration, after being confronted by protesters while campaigning in Dover, New Hampshire on Friday. Biden was approached by a Spanish-speaking man who claimed his brother had been deported during the Obama years. The man used a female translator to tell Biden his story and asked him to apologize for supporting such policies. He also asked if Biden would support halting deportations of illegal immigrants entirely. Okay, and let me see. And the man said, through a translator, of course, "I have a 3-month-old daughter, and 2 months ago in May, I was detained and put into deportation proceedings. I want you to apologize to the 3 million immigrants that were deported and separated from their families under the Obama years." Biden stood firm, it says here, however, and said he would not be apologizing and would not be supporting a policy that ends deportations outright. In other words, he would be for some deportations. "No," he replied, "I will not halt deportations and detentions." Protesters continued to chant and demanded an apology, but Biden remained intransigent. That's right. Where are we here? Biden then said he would only support deportations for those accused of committing serious felonies and would not focus his attention on those charged with misdemeanors. He said, "You want me to answer your question? Under my administration, there will be no family separation until there is a hearing as to whether or not asylum is in fact warranted." So, I'm still kind of wondering why why is this a big deal now? Why is it a big... Anybody want to guess? That's right. This has been going on for quite some time. And years ago, 3 million deportations carried out during his tenure as vice president in the Obama administration. Why wasn't it a big deal then? Now it's a big deal. Why? Let me see. What's changed? Oh, that's right. Trump is president. That's right. So now it's a big deal. It wasn't a big deal then. Speaking about wasn't a big deal and now it's a big deal. Let me see. This is from the Business Insider. You've probably seen these, I'm sure. Several 2014 photos of detained immigrant children in cages went viral in May, and former Obama administration officials rushed to offer explanations. The former Obama speechwriter Jon Favreau had even shared the images on Twitter, mistakenly believing they were taken during Donald Trump's presidency. The former officials doubled down on their criticisms of Trump's immigration policies and said the 2014 photos showed unaccompanied children the government had been attempting to place with family members. Several former Obama administration officials took to social media and news outlets last month to explain a gallery of years-old photos that showed immigrant children sleeping in shoddy conditions at a government-run holding center in Arizona. I believe it was Nogales. I think it isn't in the story, but I think that's where it was. Anyway, the images, which the Associated Press first published in 2014, resurfaced recently for reasons that remain unclear and quickly prompted viral outrage on Twitter. One particularly disturbing image showed two children sleeping on mattresses on the floor inside what appeared to be a cage. That's right. A number of prominent liberals and even a former Obama administration official shared the photos, mistakenly believing they depicted the Trump administration's treatment of immigrant children who were forcibly separated from their parents. Favreau, who worked as a speechwriter for former President Obama, tweeted, "This is happening right now, and the only debate that matters is how we force our government to get these kids back to their families as fast as humanly possible." Favreau said he later deleted the tweet after social media users pointed out that the photos were taken during the Obama administration. But by that point, critics had already rushed to accuse him of concealing Obama's own harsh immigration tactics while condemning Trump's. So, if you're going to protest what's going on at the southern border, I think you probably missed the boat. It seems to me that you're a day late and a dollar short. If you were going to protest, you probably should have protested years ago, during the Obama presidency. Although I don't think protesting Obama policies was allowed. Okay? You really couldn't do it. Now you can. Now it's a free-for-all. You can protest anything of Trump's. But before, you couldn't do it, right? So, as I said, if you're out there getting all wadded up over what's going on at the southern border, maybe you should have done so years ago. Why waste your time now? Right? Obama deported 3 million people. And he was the one where the kids were in cages. So, as I said, why waste your time now? Seems to me you're a day late and a dollar short. Okay, insurance. Everybody needs insurance. How about the Ryan agencies? You can't do any better than the Ryan agencies. They have offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They are your local independent insurance agency. You can save smart on your insurance with the Ryan agencies. They are an independent agent. They do the insurance shopping for you. It's like having your own personal insurance shopper. The Ryan agencies have access to many insurance companies to find the best rates for you. They're insurance experts. They offer sound, unbiased advice. They're friendly. They're local. They are the Ryan agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Check out Major League Baseball Sunday night. The Dodgers, leaders in the NL West, beat the Red Sox in Boston 7-4. It was a 12-inning game at Fenway Park. Rays knocked off the Orioles 4-1. Tampa Bay, though, almost perfection. They had a combined perfect game going into the ninth inning before giving up hit and eventually a run, but they do get the win. Cubs over the Pirates 8-3. Chicago sweeps its series against Pittsburgh. It opens up a 2.5-game lead on Milwaukee atop the NL Central, with the Brewers falling to the Giants 8-3. Braves sweep their series against the Padres with a 4-1 win in the finale. Atlanta now has a 7-game lead on Washington to top the NL East. Nationals lost the Phillies 4-3. Yankees, top team in the AL East, beat the Blue Jays 4-2. Twins, top team in the AL Central, lost to the Indians 4-3. And the Astros, leaders of the AL West, rolled over the Rangers 12-4. Tennis earlier on Sunday, Novak Djokovic outlasted Roger Federer in 5 sets for his 16th Grand Slam title and 5th Wimbledon title. It was the longest finals match in Wimbledon history at almost 5 hours.
From the Fox Business Network, Boeing's 737 MAX plane could be grounded until January. The Wall Street Journal says Boeing executives, FAA engineers, and international aviation regulators are looking at a growing list of issues. Both American and United Airlines have removed the planes from their schedules until November. The FAA says it has no timetable for returning the MAX planes to service. Amazon's Prime Day summer sale has started. Discount coupon website RetailMeNot says there are more than 250 retailers with competing sales. Amazon's event lasts 2 days this year. There are signs trade tensions between the U.S. and China are having an impact on China's economy. It slowed to the weakest pace in decades in the spring quarter. The Dow was up 243 Friday, NASDAQ added 48, S&P up 13. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
New to golf or seasoned veteran, you'll enjoy the casual, relaxed atmosphere of Vanderview Golf Course. 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road, Vanderview is a 9-hole executive-length golf course with a driving range on one side of the road and the course on the other. Family-friendly and fun recreation for everyone. Greens fees are one price for unlimited play, $9.50. High school students, only $5. Children 12 and under with an adult, no charge. You can play up to 18 holes or 9 holes with a cart and get the second 9 holes at no additional charge. Ladies and senior golfers who don't hit the long ball, Vanderview's got the executive length that's just right for your game. And new this year, a season pass for only $100. That's a lot of golfing fun for a very little bit of money. Vanderview Golf Course, 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road. Vanderview Golf Course.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, drive away in a new Nissan Murano lease for only $299 a month. A new 2019 all-wheel drive Nissan Murano S model with a 3.5 V6 engine, 18-inch alloys, forward collision warning, lease with no money down for $299 a month for 36 months. Only tax and DMV fees are due at signing. Shop Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and we are back. Now, this took place, where was this? In Dixon, Illinois. The cops got a call from a witness about an Audi passenger car. On top of the car was an inflatable pool. I mean, on top, and there's a photograph, the little car, and there's an inflatable pool on top of the car, right? So the cops find this car, and they stop, and they ask the lady who's driving exactly what's going on here. So as the cops are standing there, they look in the pool, and the lady's 2 kids are in the pool. Okay, let me see. During the course of the investigation, it says here, it was learned that the woman, whatever her name is, the woman drove into town to inflate the pool at a friend's house and had her 2 juvenile daughters ride inside of the empty pool to hold it down on the drive home. So you have this inflatable pool on top of a car, and these 2 kids are sitting in it. Anyway, so the lady faces 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child, 2 counts of reckless conduct, failure to secure a passenger at the age of 8 and under the age of 16. So obviously they weren't wearing seatbelts. They're on top of the car in an inflatable pool, right? Anyway, so that's her. But not to be outdone. We have, where's this? This was in Canada. Let me see, where in Canada? I suppose it doesn't really make any difference, does it? Not really. So, cop makes a routine traffic stop. And there's a child in a booster seat, right? However, what the driver was using as a booster seat was a 30-pack of beer. So he had his little 2-year-old kid sitting on a 30-can pack of beer as a booster seat. Yeah, probably not the best idea. So actually, the cops up there must be really nice, because they wound up giving this guy a car seat. And of course, they gave him a couple of tickets, so they gave this guy a car seat for his kid. But of course, that creativity, I think, was pretty good. A 30-pack of beer would probably serve as a booster seat, I guess. I don't know. Okay, that's it, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.